While Cows Week had been taking center stage on the Solent, final preparations were over and it was start time for the world's biggest offshore yacht race, the ROLEX Fastnet Race. This year, for the first time since the race was first held in 1925, the Royal Ocean Racing Club's premier event finished in Cherbourg, France, rather than Plymouth. However, this 49th edition of the race started as usual from Cowes, where the first warning signal for the Monohull classes was given at 1100, followed at 15-minute intervals by the IMOCAS, Class 40s, and then the 5 IRC classes starting with IRC 4, and finishing with IRC 0 at 12:30. 355 boats were entered in the race, ranging in size from the brand new club Swan 125, Skorpios, belonging to Russian Dmitry Rybolovlev, to the lowest rated in the IRC fleet, Pierre Legoupil's 11-meter Illingworth, Primos designed Maker Classic, La Loupe Rouge. Among the most decorated is George David's Rambler 88, which won back-to-back Monohull Line Honours in the last 2 editions of the ROLEX Fastnet Race. International Grand Prix races are low in numbers compared to previous years due to pandemic-related travel restrictions. It hasn't been easy getting it together. It is a big commitment by these owners, admits Rambler 88's tactician Brad Butterworth. Her 19 crew have all made it into the UK, while the boat arrived on a ship from the USA in June. This week the Silver Maxi has been out on the water. We just want to make sure we can still sail it in anger after a year of not sailing, Butterworth says. Rambler 88's last race was the ROLEX Middle Sea Race in 2019. According to Butterworth, the only change they have made since then is adding a light air downwind sail. Almost 10 hours after the lead all-time trimaran Edmond de Rothschild, Russian Dmitry Rybolovlev's brand new club Swan 125, Scorpios, became the first monohull to round Southwest Island's most famous rock. Due to this year's mostly upwind conditions being more typically ROLEX Fastnet Race, even the massively fast Scorpios was unable to better the record monohull time to the Fastnet Rock of 26 hours 45 minutes 47 seconds, set in 2019 by George David's Rambler 88. Scorpio's time was 30 hours 38 minutes 43 seconds. Competing in her first ever race, the newly launched Scorpios used her powerful form to make easy work of the difficult conditions on the first day. The team, growing in confidence, then extended their lead over their closest rivals on the leg to the Fastnet Rock, before a fast-paced return to the finish cemented their achievement. First held in 1925, the ROLEX Fastnet Race is organized by the Royal Ocean Racing Club. ROLEX has partnered the event since 2001, and the biennial offshore race is one of the foundations of the Swiss watchmakers' 6-decade-long association with the sport of yachting. 2021 marks a significant chapter in the race history, with the finish in Cherbourg, France rather than Plymouth, England.
Ouais. Doucement, voilà, très bien. Ouais. Doucement, voilà, très bien. C'est un peu plus tôt. On va se recule. Ouais, super. Doucement. Voilà, super. Vas-y, 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 suis-le. Voilà, suis-le.
Dmitry Rybolovlev's Club Swan 125, Scorpios, took line honours in the ROLEX Fastnet Race, after crossing the finish line in Cherbourg. Their total elapsed time for completing the 695 nautical mile course from Cowes to Cherbourg was 2 days, 8 hours, 35 minutes and 5 seconds. The recently launched Scorpios came through a brutal first 12 hours of the race in good shape. As the breeze softened, Scorpios extended away from her chief rivals for line honours, including previous winner George Davids, Rambler 88, and the strong IMOCAS fleet. Having only started sailing in the last few years, this was owner Dmitry Rybolovlev's first offshore race, which he experienced with his daughter Anna Rybolovleva, also her first time offshore racing. We're very pleased with the boat, the team was great. We want to thank the whole team for such great efforts. We were trying to stay conservative, especially in the high wind at the start, but we're excited to see what the boat can do in future races. Rounding the Fastnet Rock was kind of magical, it felt like a really special moment. Skipper Fernando Echavarriand was relieved to have come through the ROLEX Fastnet Race with the boat intact. The boat is very strong, we backed off on speed coming out of the Solent, but so was everyone else, said the Spanish professional. We had an idea of what the boat might be able to do, but we didn't know for sure, so we learned a lot on this race. The owner is super happy, he's a good sailor but new to offshore sailing, and he enjoyed the experience. I think there is a very good chance we will be back for the ROLEX Fastnet Race.
Fernando, just talk about the boat to start with. It's no competitive pedigree, it's making its competitive debut, and you've won. Just tell us about that.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive. We actually were a bit scared. No, it's the first time we put this boat into this kind of scenario. No, it's big rough seas, 35 knots going out of the Solent. The needles were like entering into Mordor, but everything went well. I mean, the boat is pretty strong. It feels powerful. we've been pretty impressed to go out of the Soren with such a big speed. So we are very happy. We have been working so hard for the last years and especially these last 6 months. So I'm very happy. I'm very proud of the team.
Did you back off at all? Did you sell conservatively?
We sell conservatively going out, but I mean everybody did. It was like if you push too hard at the early beginning, probably you will need to stop because you may have a structural issue on the boat. So we sell conservative, and even with that, the boat will need a big check after that conditions. But then we push all we could. IMOCAS were just flying. We got a bit scared, when you see these boats into these kind of conditions of reaching 62 in angle, 17s, you feel how powerful they are. So at the end, luckily, I mean, we are faster in overall because when the boat, when our boat goes for light and medium winds, basically it's so powerful. So in that condition we were much faster than IMOCAS.
Just a couple of key waypoints. The start, you blanched a little, it looked a little pale when we talked about it in cows with all those boats. How was it for you? Did you handle the start reasonably well?
No, yes. I mean, thank you to the organization because I mean they make a very important call to put us in the third group and not in the last one. Otherwise, it could be a very dangerous kind of stuff. So, in that sense, we start with the zero class. We were, I think, 20 boats, and it was fine. It was fine. We make a conservative start, knowing that it was going to be easy to pass the 70s, especially and the 65s. But then Rambler. I mean, Rambler is a great boat with a great crew, and we knew that they were going to put us the things difficult. But unfortunately for them, I mean, we are faster upwind and we are faster downwind. So the boat is behaving, and the power of this boat is just incredible.
I've just got a couple more. Were you surprised that the race against Rambler wasn't tighter?
We expect more with breeze, but it's true that 25 foot more is a lot, and at the end they were paying this. I didn't think at that stage that we were going to be as confident and powerful as we were, but the reality is that, even with that, I think Rambler is always a boat to beat. They have a super good boat, it's been optimized for years, and they have an incredible team. We are very happy because, first of all, we achieved our targets. That was competing the Fastnet and finish the Fastnet. And then the boat, the short team, and all the team has made a super big effort to finish the race in such difficult conditions and with this great result. So it's been a win-win situation, so we are so happy.
Good. Last question from me. We've got great coverage of you rounding Fastnet Rock, really nice looking pictures. What does it feel like to have rounded the rock in this magnificent beast? And
yeah, it's been incredible because we were rounding the rock with the three sail configuration, with the gate 2, with all the sails, and it's been just fantastic. Just around the boat with so many people looking at it, Harry, the owner, very happy, so fantastic.
I mean, my father wants to thank the motor, Fernando, which is our skipper, and which is here, and also the sailing team and the short team for such great efforts. And of course, the boat is new, so we're still trying to see what we can do. So yeah, we're pretty much trying to stay conservative, especially in the beginning with the high wind. We still want the race, so I'm glad to see what's coming in the future for the boats and all the races that we're going to do.
And rounding the famous Fastnet Rock, how was that?
It was actually amazing because it was at around 6 p.m. Yeah, right. And the light was very, it was amazing. And there were all the tender boats around, the helicopter. It was kind of a little bit magical, you know, with this kind of island alone in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, you could feel that it was like really important.
That's not bad for your first race to have won the ROLEX Fastnet Race.
Well, yeah. Well, we've been doing a couple onshore races, but of course, offshore is really different.
Thank you for your time, Anna. Thanks very much. Thank you.